Yes, gang. So we are back. Week 2 of the dieting phase wrapped up, and it's been a while since I have ran through a full day of eating, and I think it's perfect timing since we're in this dieting phase. I am now 6 kilo down over the first 16 days. So I'm going to bring you through kind of what I've been eating over the past just over 2 weeks to pull off that 6 kilo basically. So we're going to dig into it. We have a leg day today, so we're going to start off with meal 1. Now, we've already done morning walk, so Adam, my client as well, he actually came over this morning for a check-in. So went through a few bits with Adam, and we then got some steps in, went on our morning walk about half an hour, boxed 4,000 steps off, and now back for this meal 1. So while meal 1 is cooking, I always get my vacuums in every single morning without fail, and then now I'm well and truly ready for this first meal. So this first meal hasn't changed much since previously, but the bread has come out of it and the egg whites have increased and the number of eggs has come down. So it is 100 grams of cream of rice with 100 grams of berries. It is 400 mils of egg whites with 1 whole egg. And then we have the green beans and beetroot there for the veg as well. So this is how she is looking. We have cream rice, berries, eggs, which looks a bit bare with no bread, but it is still beautiful. We have the ketchup, the pepper, and the cinnamon. So this for me is a perfect first meal. So I train after 3 meals. So meal 1, meal 2, pre-workout, and then train. But today we're training a little bit earlier. So we're training after second meal today. Cuba and I are actually heading down to London and have to catch a train. So I said I'd shift 1 meal back earlier so we could have our leg section together, and then I'll just kind of follow the meals on after that as well. So pre-workout meal going in now, which is 10 o'clock. Now we're going to train at about 11:15. So pre-workout meal, chicken, rice, pineapple, and banana. So again, the same pre-workout meal, but just different amounts. So the honey was actually pulled out of this meal. The rice was pulled down. The amount of fruit stayed the same. So 150 banana, 100 pineapple, 125 rice in this one now, in comparison to what it was at 150. And the chicken is at 200 as well. So as you will see, not crazy adjustments in terms of the food sources, because like I always say, I love the meals I eat. I really do love the foods and the meals I eat. So for me, just adjusting the amounts of them when dieting down allows me to still enjoy the food, but just obviously a little less of certain things. So that's why you'll see things are pretty similar. So pre-workout meal. So here we are, chicken, rice, mustard, of course, with some peppers, pineapple and banana. Let me know, I'm curious. What way would you eat this? So would you eat this first? What would you eat? Personally, I go pineapple, banana, and then I finish off with the chicken and rice. I'm curious, everyone's different. Now, intra-workout supplementation. So my intra-workout today is going to be Carb Drive by Conte. Obviously, you've seen me use this before. I use the unflavoured version, and then I actually use my EAAs to actually flavour it basically. So unflavoured with this, it digests super well. Like I said, I've used other ones in the past, and even flavoured sometimes plays on my stomach because the sweeteners, etc. too. So I go unflavoured. It sits on me absolutely perfectly. So we're going to go 60 grams of this today. Then we will go essential gains, which are the aminos. So I have berry flavour here, and I'll go 25 grams of EAAs. And then that's going to be pre, which I'll show you. But this Hydroflow, this is mango flavour. The pineapple actually arrived for me as well. So pineapple is new. I'm going to try that as well. But mango flavour. I put this in on leg days in my intra-workout as well. It's obviously a hydration product. It's going to keep me hydrated, especially as I sweat a lot during legs and they are demanding sessions. I found previously I was kind of cramping towards the end of leg sessions as well, whereas this has been a massive help for me too. So every leg session, other sessions I don't necessarily take it, but every morning I take it, and then leg sessions. And then that's intra, and then pre-workout we have conviction. So leg days, I like to use conviction. It's my favorite stim pre-workout. I find it difficult to find a good stim pre-workout because I'm very sensitive to caffeine and stimulants, so like I get a bad come down off them. I just don't feel good. So this, I've been using this for the past 2 to 3 years because it gives me a good kick, but I don't have a come down off it, and I feel pretty good mentally too. So this is candy apple flavour, which is actually really good. So I have this about 20 minutes before I actually start the session 2, just to give it time to actually kick in. And then once I'm actually starting, then I'm good to go. So that is intra-workout, pre-workout, and we're gonna get on the way to the gym now. So with a slightly earlier session, I like to make sure that I get a bit more water in than usual by that time of the day. So usually before the session, I'll usually have like maybe 4 litres of water in, but obviously usually by this time I'll usually have like 2 litres in. So this morning I made sure, I knew I was going to be training early, so I'll try to get an extra litre in if I'm training early. So I got 3 in this morning rather than I usually have, like I said, 2 in by this time. So still trying to make sure that these little variables that will dictate performance are where they need to be, just so I can make sure that nothing changes. Just because training time changes, I still have them little boxes ticked off that is going to allow me to maximize the performance and how much progress I can make in this session, basically. She was wearing a mask, that girl back there. It's 2024 now.
About 4 years too late.
4 years too late for a mask. So yeah, that's what I do water-wise. Now, I actually really like this time training. So I would personally love to train at this time, after 2 meals. For me, I feel great. My stomach feels empty, but I feel fueled. I feel good to go. But it's a Sunday, so this can be done. But on weekdays, I prefer to make sure all my work is done, all clients are responded to, all check-ins are done, because I know then, once I know clients are happy, I can go and I can switch off for my session. So I can't do that if I train at 11:30 because it's a little bit earlier, so I'm rushing, you know what I mean, through the morning. And then I also have to do some check-ins later in the day, whereas I'd rather be so clued in on the work first, so I know, right, that's done at the best possible mental capacity, and now I have my switch off time while everyone else is happy with their responses that they got as well. Does that make sense? So 11:30 or so will be a perfect training time, but around 1:30 really allows me to get work done, get clients prioritized, and then allows me to have my time and switch off. Now, driving to the gym is always switch off time for me. I don't like being on social media, being on my phone. I just like either sitting in silence or else listening to music on the way to the gym, and just kind of get myself prepared, you know, by switch off time, get myself focused and ready for kind of what has to be done. But yeah, obviously I'll sip my pre-workout. I won't sip on it yet, but when I get close to the gym, then I'll sip on it. We're sipping it now. By the time we start, I'll already be wired off my tits. So I'll also give you a little story about my car while we are driving. So my car is gone because obviously I couldn't drive it, so Jem was driving it and Jem was driving me around it. But the brake pads went and discs, so we got them fixed. So that was like 500 quid or something, not ideal. So we got them fixed, and then we were driving home, and then there was like a big rattling noise, and we were like, they must have done something wrong here. So we went back to the garage and said, look, what's going on? But it was the gearbox that had actually like fallen out. So it was nothing to do with the discs. We paid 500 for discs, and then the gearbox fell out literally on the way home, which it could have been fixed, but it just was not worth their while, especially the fact I couldn't fucking drive the car. So I just got rid of it. So now I have no car, so when I'm back driving, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to try and sort something, but that's the situation. So we're in Jem's car. I'm blessed to have Jem drive me around, otherwise it would be a shit show. Isn't that right?
Yeah, honestly, imagine you just get to be passive.
got a leg session because I'm absolutely fucked. But beat this here, and then we will hit the goal.
Here's mine.
Oh yeah. Oh. Yes, guys, so that was a really, really good session, and I say it all the time, like, no matter how you are feeling, a good session, the endorphins you release and the dopamine you get from that, it completely changes your mood. It's crazy what a good training session can do for you mentally. And this is what I always say. For me, yes, I compete and I bodybuild, etc. But that's just kind of a byproduct of doing what I do. I love to train because it benefits me so much from a mental health perspective. Honestly, if I didn't have the gym as an outlet, I've said this before, I would be down a much darker road, because other things would be my outlet, as they've been in the past. So this for me is an escape, an outlet. A lot of people have outlets that are kind of negative. I feel like this is definitely a positive outlet for me, definitely. So it allows me to kind of put my emotions, my frustrations, my worries, anything at all that energy into my sessions to really try and better myself and be productive. So that session was needed today. It's been a stressful week, so that session just really resets me and allows me now to go into the new week just a weight off my shoulders and able to breathe a little bit more as well. So I'm a happy man. But really fucking good session, really good. We are 10 pounds down since the last time I actually done that session too, so that's a good chunk off. Definitely felt a lot leaner today, but felt strong, and all numbers were up pretty significantly as well. So I am a happy boy going home. So we're going to go home. Had post workout there. I don't know if you can even hear me, but we had the cream of rice, the berries, and the whey. Again, just kind of carbs and protein, which is going to digest very, very fast post workout. To obviously, I don't want any fats in there really, because I want that to be fast digested, and obviously fats will slow digestion down a touch. So I want them carbs and protein in there as fast as I possibly can to start the recovery process. And yeah, we go home now to the fourth meal, which will be in a while. So I'll catch you then. Yes, gang, so we are back in the office. So just cracking on with some more work this evening. Obviously no check-ins today, but just kind of wrapping up some admin work and just getting back to the clients, just making sure that they're happy. And I'm going to crack into the fourth meal. So this meal is rice, beef, veg, and then I have the berries as well. So again, this is the same as what my meal 2 would usually be, but there is less rice. So again, you'll see same meals, but less food basically, and mainly a big carb drop off so far today. The first meal we had the eggs pulled from 3 down to 1, so that's obviously some fats pulled out as well, and then some fats pulled later in the day, which you will see also, but mainly just carbs and then some fats pulled as well. With that intra-workout that you saw earlier with the carb drive, so that actually was 90 grams at the start of this phase, and that was pulled down to 60. So that's a decent drop off of carbs there too. But I'll show you the kind of comparisons at the end in terms of calories and macro breakdown. But in for meal 4, so we have 100 rice, 250 beef, green beans, peppers, and then the blueberries as well. Always frozen, always frozen. I prefer frozen blueberries than fresh blueberries. I prefer frozen pineapple as well. But in terms of fruits, frozen strawberries are vile. Fresh strawberries always, but blueberries always frozen. Yes, gang, so I actually recorded this and the camera's facing the other way. So that's a great start. But meal 5, it's chill out time now, Sunday evening. I have my oversized the brand, top on, ready to chill, It's actually filthy, but it's like my chill out top, so it can be allowed. About to tuck into meal 5, which is chicken, rice, veg, and apple. So in this meal, there was almond butter in it. So almond butter is being pulled, so some fats pulled out and some rice pulled down as well. So some carbs pulled out of this meal also, I'll show you now. But I think in this dieting phase, one of the reasons as to why I've pulled off, you know, such a big amount so fast as well. 12 pounds or so in like 14 to 16 days. So I feel like it's because I didn't gain excessive amounts of body fat during the last push-up. I was very patient through it, and I gained a lot of clean muscle, but not excessive body fat alongside that. And I've built them calories up to a pretty good position over time. And in the past, I've got, you know, a lot fatter, a lot quicker, etc. as well. And there's no right or wrong way to kind of do it. You know, it's not like one is going to give more results than the other, etc. too. But, you know, I definitely have enjoyed this method and this way and being patient, because I felt like it's allowed me to stay a lot more responsive and not gaining excessive body fat, like I said. And my body is super responsive right now as I pull this food back down. Like as soon as I make a little adjustment, it just wants to fall off. And it's never come off this kind of fast before as well. So I think being patient has definitely paid off for me. Also, I have a lot more muscle tissue as well at the moment in comparison to last time. And the more muscle you have, the more food you can eat in a dieting phase, because the more muscle, the more food and calories your muscle actually needs to actually stick around. So if you want to eat more food, build more muscle. Muscle is great. But yes. And this is what we have. So we have the 100 grams of apple, no almond butter in this. Then we have 75 rice today instead of 100 that's usually in this meal, 250 chicken, and then the usual veg concoction and mustard as well. So meal 5, plain and simple. I will enjoy this. Right guys, so we are back in to wrap up the last meal of the full day of eating on a training day. This is, so rest day food is obviously slightly different, but this is on a training day. So last meal, I actually went through a period at the end of that push-up where I was actually having chicken and rice, you know, because I wanted something savoury for the last meal. I feel like when food gets higher, I don't really like sweet things to an extent. So I was going with chicken and rice, but I'm back to cream of rice and whey at this stage because, yeah, a little bit hungrier. It's going down a treat. So this meal is cream of rice with berries, and then my whey with berries and almond butter. So proteins, carbs and fats in this meal. The only thing is the cream of rice has come down a little bit, or the rice what it would have been as well. So that has come down a touch. But still carbs pretty much in every meal at the moment. And to be honest, I doubt there's going to be any carbless meals during this phase with the way things are going. Maybe I could be wrong, but yeah, by the looks of it, things are going to keep moving at a pretty fast rate as well. So tomorrow morning, I'm actually going to send Kuba pictures and body weight and just kind of see where we are at, kind of a midweek check-in. And then if any adjustments need to be made, we will. But to be fair, had a new low weigh in this morning of 124.4, and usually after legs, because it's super demanding, I usually see a drop off after legs as well. So let's see how we look tomorrow and we will go from there. But definitely feeling tighter today, especially training legs today. Little bits of kind of detail popping through, some more vascularity on the quads, etc. as well. So definitely some more changes pulling through at the moment. So I will kind of show you a physique update in a few weeks or at the end of this mini cut as well. But if you want to kind of follow the progress physique wise, I post updates on my page, so on Instagram, so you will see them there. But yeah, show you the last meal. Here to finish the day, cream of rice, salted caramel, blueberries, cinnamon in there as well, and then we have the whey made of the paste with almond butter. Look, that is thick. Almond butter and berries as well. So beautiful last meal to finish off the day. Also put kind of total calories and macros on the screen as well, just so you can kind of see where they're at the moment, basically. I think everyone loves watching full days of eating, but just remember that eating somebody else's full day of eating, there's 0 point in it, because everyone is going to be different. So just remember that. I think use people's meals, etc. for some inspiration, being like, okay, that looks good, I might try this, but Don't forget that the amounts are going to vary on the person, on the goal, etc. as well. But hopefully, looking through these meals, you like the look of some of them. You may try some of them. That is it. Full day of eating wrapped up. I will do one of these again in a few weeks' time, maybe towards the end of the dieting phase, maybe on a rest day as well, to show you the comparison. But that is leg day wrapped up, full day of eating wrapped up, and I'm looking forward to another big week in this diet.